on a plane down to paradise. No map, no plan, no compromise. Backpack ready for the ride. Got my ukulele by my side. Singing. girl I idolize. A real queen, so sweet. From your crown to the soles of your feet.
And an infant, so you guys are getting out.
along the way. Today you guys are on one of our snack stop rides, which means on the way back from our halfway point, we're going to stop in Ko Olina, give you guys an opportunity to get off the train and buy yourself a delicious snack. So make some noise if you're excited for your snack stop ride. Who's excited? Woohoo! Alright, awesome! As we head to the snack stop ride, there's a few rules we have to follow as we're here on the train. First and foremost, all passengers, including the keiki, the little kids, they must stay seated on the green benches or sitting on the parents' lap while the train is moving. When we get to the halfway point, we'll stand up, we'll stretch, and we'll switch sides. So you're going to see both sides of the train today. You are allowed to eat and drink on board. If you guys look at me, I'm holding a trash bin in my hand. There's one like this in each of your train cars by the stairs. So feel free to throw away your trash. You are allowed to eat and drink on board, just no alcohol allowed on the ride. I see a lot of you guys wearing hats, which is awesome because it does get sunny on the train, although I don't think we have to worry about that today. Just make sure it's nice and tight on your head because it does get very windy. I don't want you to lose your cool hat today. Please keep all body parts, your hand, head, and feet inside the train. A lot of passengers get super curious and they reach for the plants growing outside, but a lot of those plants have thorns on them. So for your safety, please keep all body parts inside the train. This also goes for personal belongings, cell phones, toys, things like that. People try to take a cool picture, they stick their phone out the car, and boop, it gets dropped in the process. So keep all personal belongings inside the train. No smoking goes for e-cigarettes as well, just for everyone's comfort. And then last but not least, the most important rule of all is to please have fun with us today. So go ahead and make some noise if you're ready for your train ride. Who's ready? Alright, y'all are super ready. Awesome. So right now, our train crew is putting up the stools and chains for all of our passenger cars. Once they're ready, they'll jump on the locomotive and we'll head on out. But if you guys look down below, you see a lovely gentleman wearing a bright yellow shirt and blue shorts. That is Paul. Everybody say hi, Paul. Hi, Paul. He's one of our amazing volunteers. He does a ton around here. And today, he's going to be the one sending us off. So once he sees that we're all ready to go, including our train crew, he will give a signal to the engineer, letting him know we're ready. Also, she normally doesn't like it when I introduce her, but I see her out there. If you see a lady in the pink shirt, that's my mom, Selena. Feel free to give her a nice wave. Hi, Mom. She's our office manager, so she's the big boss around here. Alrighty, we're almost ready to go. We're just waiting for our train crew to jump on the engine. So if you haven't already, make sure you're seated on the green benches. Make sure all the keiki, all the little ones, are seated too. Alrighty, we're about ready to go. Paul's going to give a signal to the engineer, letting him know we're ready to leave. And here we go, everyone. We're leaving the train station. Woohoo! As we leave, feel free to wave bye to people down below. Bye, Paul. Bye, Mom. Everyone, we're leaving the train station. Woohoo! Now, if you guys look at our train station, there you guys can see all the cool equipment we have out there. For example, if you're able to spot that big black steam engine, that's engine 85. She belongs to the Oahu Railway and Land Company, which you'll learn more about later. But everybody says she looks like the train from Polar Express, the Christmas movie. Now there's one more thing I want to try to point out, but it's super hard to see, so if you don't find it, that's okay. But if you guys can see that old white boxcar, if you look on the right-hand side, there's a pile of messed up looking track with a bunch of grass growing all over it. Now, if you see that pile of messed up looking track, that's called snap track. That's what sugarcane trains use. They snap together just like a train set. And when they're done, they can take it apart when they're ready. cozy. Front of the train, start us off. Let me see those awesome shakas. Nice friendly waves. Woohoo! Keep it going, everybody. Aloha to all of the drivers. Thanks for waiting as we cross the road. Awesome job, my car, and the last car. Alright, great shakas, everybody. Let's keep going through all the crossings. If you see a car down there, make sure you throw them a nice friendly wave. traffic for us. So if you want to, but you don't have to though, on either side of the train, feel free to lean over and look up ahead to see if you guys can find our train crew. Now, if you don't see them, that's okay. They're a lot easier to spot on the way out, on the way back. But for now, everybody, it's our second crossing, which means it's the second time we get to show our aloha. So go ahead, everyone, do a nice shaka and thanks for me. Aloha, everyone down below. Much mahalos. Awesome shakas, everybody. Wow, look at all those plants growing super close to the train. Now, we haven't seen a friendly neighbor crazy out there. I see a big truck out there. Y'all get bonus points if you get up to honk his horn by pulling your fist from the ceiling. Alright, awesome job, you guys. Aloha. Make sure you give them extra big shakas. Now, it's nothing too exciting out here. This has Costco's on the mountainside. Gotta love Costco's. You know, seeing Costco's can be kind of crazy, so if you see any shoppers out there, make sure you give them a nice wave. Now, our train makes a lot of sounds, and it's actually a language that they have. So if you guys hear one short horn, that means we're at a complete stop. Two short horns means we're moving forward. Three short horns is backing up. And five long horns means the train is in trouble. So hopefully we do not hear that one on our train ride today. But as we come up to our next crossing, you guys are going to hear something different. Instead, you're going to hear two long blasts, a short blast, followed by another long blast. That's the engineer letting everyone know we're going through a grade crossing. So make sure you listen for those train horns. Aloha out there. There you guys have it, the two long horns, short horn, followed by another long horn. The engineer letting us know we're crossing the road. But here we are in the middle of Kalakaua Boulevard. You never know, y'all might be the first positive thing they're seeing today. So make sure you give a nice shaka, a nice friendly wave. Actually, especially to that big truck out there. Aloha! You got all the trucks showing their aloha today. miles away from the train station. However, it's not the one in Eva where we all got on the train, because that is definitely not 22 miles away. Instead, it's for our original train station in Honolulu. So right now, we're 22 miles away from Honolulu and 3 miles away from our station in Eva. Our ride today will be 13 miles, like I said, round trip. just yet, but I do see a lot of chickens out there. Alrighty, everybody, here we are at our first coffee in Ko Olina. Make sure you give a nice wave to the lovely folks in the area. Aloha, you guys. Alrighty, everybody, no black swans just yet. So keep your eyes open for a big black bird with white wingtips and a red bill. Let's see who could be the first person from the train to spot a black swan today. On the Makai side are the hotels of Ko Olina. A lot of people wonder, what does the word Ko Olina mean? It means the place of joy. Ko Olina means the place of joy. Then the brown hotel off in the distance is the one and only Disney Aulani Resort. Aulani means the royal messenger. And if you guys look on top of the buildings, and you see those little triangles up there, those are shaped after the haleva'as, which are the Polynesian canoe houses. You've seen a cartoon haleva'a if you ever watched the Disney movie Moana. This next fact is kind of random, but people tend to ask what's the parking lot for on the mountainside. So, if you're wondering, it's just for the employees that work here in Ko Olina. As you guys can see, it's quite a walk from their car. So if you see any workers out there, make sure you give a nice big wave, everyone. Aloha down there. Have a great day today. There on the mountainside is Ko Olina Golf Club, and they have a 5-star restaurant in there, known as Roy's. Aloha down below. Wow, what a day here in Ko Olina today. Now, if you guys see these massive trees next to us on the ocean side, these are known as monkey pod trees. If you ever eat at Monkey Pod Restaurant in Ko Olina, they're named after these trees on the ocean side. Aloha everyone, at Monkey Pods. Aloha everyone at Monkey Pods. Hope you guys are enjoying your meal and have a great rest of your day. Pacific Ocean. Wow. Look how gorgeous the water looks today. We have now arrived to the coastal waters of Kahe Point. As we're here, let's see if you guys can find any marine life down below. Like the dolphins, they like to jump out and give the tree a show. Just remember to stay seated. Do not stand up. We will switch sides at the halfway point, so everybody will see both sides of the train. You guys are doing a great job so far. Keep it up. For everybody on the Mackay side, if you want to see the closest we get to the water, look for the concrete barrier coming up to the train right now. The concrete barrier is the closest we get to the ocean. And sometimes we see Honolulu, green sea turtles down there. Wow, look how pretty the water looks down below. I want you guys to enjoy the beautiful ocean. Just remember to stay seated and keep showing your awesome aloha. Alrighty everyone, we're now at the halfway point so you can stand up and stretch. Go ahead, stand up and stretch. We are now going to switch sides. So when you're ready, I need you all to stand up. You're going to pick up all your stuff and walk in a big circle in a clockwise direction to the other side of the train. So 1, 2, 3, go. A clockwise circle to the opposite side. Y'all got it on your train car. Great job, you guys. Unfortunately, we can't turn the train around, so we just turn y'all around, and y'all are doing a great job. Take your time. Once you guys have switched sides and you're ready to go ahead and have a seat on the green benches. The sooner I see you guys are ready, by sitting down on the green benches, the sooner we can head to the snack stop. So if you guys want your snack stop and to take a break from the train ride, let's all sit down on the green benches. Alrighty, we're almost ready. Just waiting for a few more passengers to take their seats. Alright, y'all are awesome. Once that train crew is ready, we'll head on to the snack stop. And here we go, now moving backwards. Electric power plant on the mountainside uses oil to produce electricity. One of the cool things they do is borrow ocean water to cool down their equipment. Once they're done, they want to return the ocean water back into the sea, but it gets super hot up there. So first, they put the hot water in this box you see on the Makai side. That's called a catchment system. In the catchment system, the hot water from the power plant mixes with cold ocean water. Once it's done being mixed, it gets pumped back into the ocean as clean, warm ocean water, making Electric Beach very popular for marine life. But as you cross the road, try to look on the ocean side and see if you guys can find a big sign in the shape of an X. Out there on the ocean side, as you cross this road, the big sign in the shape of an X. You might have seen that was a railroad crossing sign. And the reason why I pointed it out is because back then, signs here in Hawaii were not written in English, but instead they were written in Olelo, in Hawaiian. So instead of reading railroad crossing, it would say Akahele Ike Ka'ahi, which meant to watch out for the fire car, or watch out for the rolling fire. I guess that's how they described coal-burning locomotives back then. Alrighty, I don't know about you guys, but I have yet to see any marine life down below. So make sure you keep your eyes open on the water over there. And if you see something, make sure you point it out so your neighbor can see it too. Oh! Never mind. I thought I saw something, but it was nothing. Now, one of the coolest train engineers was the late Marcus K. Shooty. Marcus's nickname was Aka, and Aka was a train engineer during World War II. During World War II, it was a crazy time in Hawaii, as it was illegal to do any ocean activities. Imagine living here in Hawaii, but you were not allowed to do any ocean activities like swimming, fishing, or even walking next to the ocean. At the time, it was martial law. The government thought if you're near or on the ocean, but were not with the military, you were up to no good. Real quick for everybody new on the ocean side, the concrete barrier is coming back one more time. The closest we get to the shoreline. Make sure you look down below to see if there's any honu, any green stove to cook. And then on the coolie, they made one more stop to buy fried rice, having a delicious meal of fish and fried rice. But fortunately, Auckland's train crew did not get caught for fishing that night. Sugarcane. That is what one's covered on the Kapolei, right here on the ocean side with the sugarcane. Alrighty everyone, let's give shakas one more time until we stop for our snack stop. Aloha everybody. To stay here in Ko Olina, for example, maybe you live here or you're at one of these hotels, it is an option to stay and not come back on the train. Just make sure you don't have a car at the station or somebody's coming back on the train to get the car. If you are leaving, please tell the train crew member how many of you are leaving and what car you were sitting on. When you come back, please come back in the same car, preferably the same seat you're sitting in now. Refrain from walking on the mountainside, as that is part of their golf course. The last rule, which is the most important, will be here for about 25 minutes. So around 2:15. Around 2:15, you hear a long train horn. When you hear that train horn at around 2:15, that means to come back. We're leaving in 5 minutes. Alrighty, that's the last rule, everybody. Let's wait, do not stand up until you hear the short train whistle. Now you can stand up. Once our train crew puts on the stool and chain, you may safely depart from the train. Mahalo, everyone. Enjoy your snack stop. Make some noise for Nora, everybody. Happy birthday, sweetie. Thanks for spending it on the train. All right. Thanks for singing along, everyone. Alrighty, we're now ready to go. So go ahead, let's have a seat on the green benches. Make sure all the keiki, all the little ones are seated too. Now I spy, with my little eye, a black swan on the mountainside. I see a black swan out there, so if you guys want to find him too, feel free to look on the mountainside. There you go, you guys are finding him. On the left-hand side of the pond, the big blackbird with white wingtips and a red bill. Black swans are brought from Australia, the other side of the world.
Mountains roll down to the sea. I wish that you were here with me. The waves are breaking along the shore. It's not the same without you, know.
Ko Olina. So let's give shakas one more time to the people of the area. Aloha Ko Olina. Ho. We'll see you later. Aloha golfers. onto Kalakaua Boulevard. As you guys can see, this road gets very busy, so our train crew needs to be extra careful when they stop traffic out here. Aloha down below. Awesome shakas, everyone. engine. So the engineer finally pulls back on the throttle to make the train go faster. A huge shower of oil and gunk and all the nasty stuff you can think of spewed from the smokestack. And since there was no roof on the passenger cars, all that nasty gunk went straight onto the passengers, ruining their nice, white clothes. The passengers were so mad they jumped off the train, and the newspapers had a big laugh, saying that all of Dillingham's friends looked like Dalmatian dogs, with their white clothes covered by black spots. But Dillingham didn't care, as he technically won the bet and gave his friends a free train ride. We do have Ko Olina 6 back at the train station, the black and yellow engine in our picnic area. Make sure you check her out before you guys go. Now, as for the old R&L, we were officially open from 1889 until 1947, almost 60 years of business. A lot of people wonder, what was the original route of our train tracks? So our main train station was in Honolulu. Tracks went from Honolulu through town, Kalihi, past Pearl Harbor, through Oahu, around the leeward side where we are now. However, did you guys know our tracks went a lot farther than where we stopped? It actually continued on the west side, went around the island, around Kahe Point, onto the North Shore, and ended in Kahuku. We also had tracks that went from Honolulu up through the center of the island to above Wahiawa. So it was pretty clear, once upon a time, this railroad was quite a success. Alrighty everyone, here we are at our second to the last crossing at Fort Barrett Road. Make sure your aloha spirit doesn't fly off the train. You never know, maybe they get to go home early from work, or maybe they're having a nice day out. So give them a nice wave as they go about their day today. Awesome waves, you guys. Let's keep it going all the way to the last crossing, which we'll reach in just a few minutes. Like passengers, mail, food, even garbage. Statue of Liberty, along with the White House. Alrighty, everybody, in just a moment, we'll be approaching our last crossing at Kalakaua Ali'i Mall. Keep your eyes open for any last-minute friendly neighbors.
souvenir, feel free to check out our gift shop. But here at the Hawaiian Railway, we're a non-profit, which means most, if not all of our money, comes from these train rides and donations. So without you guys coming out and riding the train, we would not still be here. So that being said, much mahalos. Thank you so much. We hope you guys had a great time today. Please stay seated. Do not stand up until you hear the short train whistle. Alrighty, go ahead and stand up. Once our train crew puts on the stool.
You